Okay, so winter day 4, welcome. Medical standards neglect healthy protein synthesis. Hospital diets often include lots of sugar. Directive, question institutional food wisdom. Okay, so medical standards. So let's pretend, hanging out with my new buddy. I didn't know he's a surgeon and he works at the hospital, and he's like, medical standards, really? As if. And he says, "What do you mean that we don't have any medical standards? That doesn't match me. I'm really smart." Okay, so let's look at medical standards as a spectrum. Okay, so where does this go? This goes to all the service industries. Basic, they studied for a few years. They got into a service industry job. They're responsible for things about food or delivery of care, and they bring sugar. Nurses bring sugar to vomiting patients to make them feel happy in their tum-tum, for example. Dum-Dum does not want sugar in tum-tum, but doesn't know that. So, if you say so, right? For me, it would be worrisome. I don't want myself to be there, so I say, okay, I saw your medical standards. I saw you deliver sugar at the phlebotomy clinic to a patient who was vomiting. So I will sue you if you deliver sugar to me. And they said, sure, you can make a note with us and we can confirm that they will not feed you during this process. As long as you understand the risks and, you go through this process to understand, and you understand what happened if you don't get fed. Okay, deal. And that was it. And after that, I said, now I believe they have medical standards. Okay? Now I believe that I can receive care if I say so. So it's a quid pro quo. Now, quid pro quo might be old-fashioned and not great in many situations, but there's a certain, you can do what you want to, but I'm not meaning that we are doing those things. And that's a sensitive issue, because when people do things, then you must also do those things. So anyways, now my confidence is restored in their medical phlebotomy establishment. And I say, sure, okay, they have some standards there. Now, the next thing is, I said they neglect healthy protein synthesis because sugar glycates protein. Now, you could use a phlebotomy example where you're giving plasma, but that has to do directly with protein synthesis. So if I have no bruising all the time, because I'm always in autophagy or ketosis, and when I go to set appointment, I don't get bruising. Now they give me first Gatorade for electrolytes, because one of those appointments, things just don't work out with the machine. And now I'm bruised for like a week and a half. Until I'm like, okay, so I have a little bit of sugar after that, because I'll set my Christmas cheat, and then it's I'm no longer not bruising, I'm no longer repairing or recovering. Okay, so it was, for me, it was like, I need my protein synthesis. Give me protein synthesis. Give me nutrient deficiency. Give me what I need for repair. Okay, so protein synthesis occurs because you're repairing proteins. So basically what happens is the proteins you take in are useful. They break down, for example, amino acids and stuff. They're useful for all sorts of things. But what happens is your body can also take amino acids and rebuild protein and make proteins. And what's happening is, when you go into autophagy, the body will take old damaged proteins and different kinds of proteins that are bad, that are kind of like just wasted protein, and they can actually recycle them, which is really cool. But you have to be able to go into autophagy to do that, from what I understand. So for me, it's something like, I need those things happening in my body, regardless of the medical procedure. So medical standards are not doing things about your protein synthesis. Okay, they're doing something about a particular procedure. They only do the minimum, and they don't interfere. You can do whatever you want to. You can eat what you want to. You can choose what's on the menu. You can bring your own food. Do whatever you like, as long as we didn't tell you that you need not to do those things while we're working on you. They will maximize self-management, which is an amazing standard. Okay, you can't really replace self-management. Most of what doctors are doing are self-management. They're just managing themselves all the time. they're super pro, as if I know them, or as if I met them, or as if I knew what they were doing. It was like super, they're doing something really cool. That's how I think about it. So the medical standards aren't really doing things about those nutritional standards. They're just looking at something that they need to do for them. Okay? And they're like, that's sufficient. I don't need you to go on an extreme diet. I don't need you to quit carbohydrates. I don't need those things from you. Okay? So you have to realize they're not really factoring that in. Hospital diets often include lots of sugar. Okay? People love sugar. Give them sugar, you know? Dr. House said, give cake. Give cake. So let them eat cake. Hospital diets often include lots of sugar. So think about that. You know, you might just be following a common standard, and people are saying what they like to eat, and you know that's what they mean that there's enough food for people. Okay. For somebody like me, I eat that, and I'm like, I could get along. I could get along and be all right, but most of the time it was just something like it's a social thing. I could do this with other people for a while. That's okay. But actually, it's very uncomfortable in the long term. I actually like not doing things like eating tons of sugar or like eating puddings and things like that. Because I just love the energy I have. I love working all day and doing other things than thinking about food. Okay. Uh, okay, so there you go. I hope that helps you. Institutional food wisdom, you don't always need it, but wisdom comes from an anthropological spiritual root. Your stomach is sore when you ate pudding, and the other one is not. So the other one can have pudding if the other one wants to, and you don't have to have pudding if you don't want to. Okay? So wisdom is okay because sometimes we don't use the same method, and you got to be like, but this is what's happening with me. It's not the same. Rational choice, that kind of thing. But that being said, also, don't forget to question it if you don't want it. Put your hand up. Well, you know, that's not what I wanted, for example. Thank you very much and take care.